All right. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who's committed the crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts that surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney here with me today. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Barbara Lane. Hello, Miss Lane. What's your date of birth?
11/11/69.
Miss Lane, you're here on a battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself and a higher private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
Showing adjudication withheld in 2007 for utter issue under $150 check and worthless check. A cruelty towards child in 2005 that was dropped. No other history, Your Honor.
And Barbara, the address I have is on California Street. Is that where you're staying?
For the time being, yes.
Right.
How long? I was arrested.
Well, how long had you been there?
6 months.
Okay. And Sabrina lives there too?
Yes, but not with me. She lives on the property.
Okay. How many homes are on the property?
3.
They're all mobiles?
2 full behind and 1 permanent.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to set the bond at $500, okay? Condition of the bond, however, is that you have no contact with Sabrina. I'm going to go over in detail what that means. And that's going to be on you. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. Don't contact her through any social media. Don't go where she lives. Don't go where she works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact with her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and I find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants to contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. She might tell them she's not interested in pursuing this matter. That decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they're not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I'll have to hold you this afternoon up until 4 o'clock. So if you wanted to serve you the civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, that we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact. Because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you'd get new charges for violating the injunction. So Barbara, going forward, if you're going to go back home and you're likely to see her because she's on the property, you got to be careful about that because if you give her a one-finger salute or a stink eye or something and she reports it, you might wind up getting your bond revoked in this case, all right? So if you and she are going to be in close proximity, you have to be very careful because if you said hey or something like that, and she drops a dime on you, you could be back in jail without bond, okay?
Understandable.
All right. So I'll have you back in court on the 1st of March. Make sure you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Christine Schaefer? After Ms. Schaefer, what's your date of birth?
2582.
All right. Christine, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently you failed to appear in his court on 3 charges. I got a sale, manufacture, deliver of a controlled substance, possession of paraphernalia, and driving on a suspended license. And I think, from what I've seen here, that you probably failed to appear because you were in custody somewhere else, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, they got you back here now. This is how we get you back on the docket. Did you have a lawyer on these cases, Christine?
Barbara Bell.
Okay. And you're going to stay with him?
Her, yeah.
Okay. Judge Merritt set your bond, no bond, so I'm not going to change that this morning. I am going to change, it looks like the 19th is the date they want you back now, the 19th of February. So I'll set you there. Get a hold of your lawyer right away and let him know what's going on, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mark Corso. Want to mark what's your date of birth?
948.
Okay. Mark, you are here on a warrant because you failed to appear in my court on Wednesday on a charge of driving on a suspended license. And I see here that you have gotten your license back, haven't you?
Yes, sir. I misunderstood today.
That's just start. Mark, hang on a second. There may be less for you to do than you know. So then he was supposed to be here Wednesday for arraignment. Had he been here, he would have been here with his brand new license.
Yes. What's his case number, do you?
This is 19 CT 99.
Oh, he's a junior.
Yes.
State. He could do. State would announce no information in 19 CT 99.
Okay. So, Mark, the state's going to drop the case, which is what they would have done if you'd been there on Wednesday. So you're going to be released today because the case has been dropped. The only other thing I'll tell you is that you do have another unpaid ticket here in Hernando County that's going to suspend that new license on the 21st. So you're going to get out today. Job number 1 on Monday is go get that ticket paid so you don't lose your new license, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Good luck. Daniel Eggers, incoming, sorry. We just cleaned it yesterday. Afternoon, Mr. Eggers, what's your date of birth?
7/30/81.
Mr. Eggers, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on the warrant, of course, is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date. Looks like they might have told you the 1st of March. I'll have you back February 19th. PD will come see you before then, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Brian Greer. Afternoon, Brian. What's your date of birth?
10/17/1987.
Brian, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond on your case is also no bond. Oops, I got an E date. What's the misdemeanor date we're working on, guys? The whatever it'll be for a VOP arraignment. Whatever we're working on today. Gotta be like.
Will be on your calendar, sir?
It doesn't matter. Whatever the arrest arraignment day is for today.
The next arraignment date I have is,
have 213.
That's me. Let's go 227 as an arraignment in front of Judge Rupi, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's the right? It's the right time. It's the wrong courtroom. All right, I'll have you back. I'll leave it at no bond. Brian, you'll be back on the 27th of February in front of Judge Rupi and see if you can get your case resolved then, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Brandon Johnson.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, Brandon. What's your date of birth?
9/21 of 81.
And Brandon, I got a couple of warrants for you, apparently out of Pasco County. The judge or judges that signed them find probable cause for a burglary of a conveyance and a misdemeanor violation of probation, and set the bonds at $7,500 and $2,500 respectively. Have you finished with your local charges, Brandon?
Yes, sir. I just bonded on those last night.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Then,
looked on these.
now you're free to bond on these if you wish. If you can come up, it's a $10,000 total. If you can bond out on these, then they'll let you out. You can go down to Newport Richie and figure out when you need to be in court. If you can't post the bond on these, since you've bonded out on your locals, then Pasco County would have 5 days to come get you. Never takes 5 with Pasco, but if you were still here in 5, they'd bring you back to see me and find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Garrick Mackey. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
2291.
Garrick, you're also here on a warrant out of Pasco County. Are you done with your local charges?
I'm currently out on bond on my
You bonded them. Okay. All right. So on the Pasco, it's the judge that signed the warrant found probable cause for a VOP. The bond is no bond. We'll let them know you're ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. Like I just said, it doesn't take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you were still here in 5, they'd bring you back to see me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Keith Maxon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Afternoon, Keith. What's your date of birth?
August 29th, 1967.
Keith, the charge is aggravated battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State what can you tell me?
I'm showing a 2017 adjudication of guilt of actual constructive possession of a synthetic out of Hernando County. 2013 possession of cocaine out of Hernando County, adjudication of guilt. I'm showing a robbery adjudication of guilt in 2007 out of Pinellas County, as well as resisting an officer with violence, guilty, adjudication of guilt 2007 out of Pinellas, adjudication of guilt for battery of a law enforcement officer in Pinellas County in 2006, and that's all I'm showing, Your Honor.
All right. Keith, I have an address for you on Norvell Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
About 3 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Just working part-time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll set your bond at $2,000. Condition is that you have no contact with Melinda Baker. Did you hear me explain no contact a moment ago?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Also, I have to hold you till 4 so that she wants to serve you with an injunction. We know where to find you. I'll have you back in court on March 1st. Very important that you contact the public defender's office if you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mauricio Ocasio. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/27/79.
Mauricio, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Angelitis. He found probable cause for 1 count of battery. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
An adjudication of guilt in 2016 for grand theft out of Tampa. A driving under the influence adjudication of guilt in 2010 out of Hillsborough County. Adjudication of guilt, flee with disregard of safety to person or property. 2010 adjudication of guilt out of Tampa. Tampa. A false info on pawnbroker form, 2001 adjudication of guilt where prison was imposed. A grand theft adjudication of guilt in 2000 where prison sentence was imposed. And all of this history is out of Tampa.
Mauricio, I have an address for you on East Nome Street in Tampa. Is that where you live now?
Yes, sir.
And how long you been there?
A year.
Okay. Do you got a job these days?
Subcontractor.
Okay. What kind of work?
Remodel homes.
I'll set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is that you'll have no contact with Tyler Miller. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
Can you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Have you back in court on the 27th of February. Very important that you contact the PD if you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Robert Odom.
Yes, sir.
Afternoon, Robert. What's your date of birth?
10-183.
Robert, you are here on a writ to bodily attachment. That means a child support hearing officer and a circuit court judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge for you of, looks like $677. Do you have that much money available, Robert?
No, sir. The reason why it hasn't been paid, Your Honor, is that I've been incarcerated for a better part of the year in Hillsborough Correctional, or Hillsborough County.
Okay.
I've cleared up all my obligations there. I am indigent, but I do have a job that's waiting on me.
Okay. So, when did you finish your sentence?
The 14th of last month, and I've been waiting almost 20 days to come here now.
Okay, so you still haven't been out yet?
No, sir, I sure haven't.
All right, so hang on a second.
I mean, I am completely indigent, but I do have a job waiting on me.
Okay, hang on.
With Gulf Coast. I'm an exterior commercial painter.
Hang on. How long were you in jail?
With no break at all from August 26th of last year, but
Okay.
there was like a month or two before that. I was fighting with probation, and I had been on and off in and out of the county jail fighting with that, but constantly incarcerated from August 26th until now, currently, 18.
All right.
And that's why it hasn't been paid. That's why nothing. That's why I didn't get to show up at court or anything. They put a warrant because I didn't.
Hang on, brother. Hang on. I'm getting you there. I just got to do my paperwork. All right.
Stand for.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Because you've been in jail, I'll find that you're not in contempt for your failure to pay child support. Therefore, you're going to be released today without the payment of any funds. I'm going to ROR you. Going forward, Robert, as soon as you can, you want to get yourself to the folks at Child Support Enforcement to get this
Yes,
one
sir.
cleared up, because now that you're out, they'll start this process again if they don't hear from you, and you'll get arrested again. So make sure you get right to them, all right?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. As soon as I file my 1099, it'll be taken care of.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tyler Queen. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
12/31/1997.
All right, Tyler, we've got 4 charges this morning: possession of cocaine, possession of hashish, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD, state.
I'm just showing that he took, this is Anthony Sanchez, right?
Nope.
Oh,
Tyler Queen.
Tyler Queen. There's no history, Your Honor.
Okay. Tyler, I've got an address for you on Landover. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
A couple years.
You got a job these days?
I'm working for self right now as a carpenter.
Okay. On the cocaine, I'm going to set the bond at 1,000. On the hash at 1,000. Marijuana 500. Paraphernalia 500. That's a total of $3,000. I'm going to have you back in court on the 1st of March. Make sure you contact the PD when you get out. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anthony Sanchez. Afternoon, Mr. Sanchez. What's your date of birth?
7/25/96.
Mr. Sanchez, I have two issues today. I have a possession of marijuana and a battery being domestic in nature. It's probable cause for both charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
The only history I'm showing is that he just went on, he was on PTI for a battery in 2018.
And it's the same victim.
And it's,
Okay. Did he finish the PTI?
Excuse me?
Did he finish the PTI?
No, he hasn't. He's still on
Still
PTI.
on. Okay.
He hasn't done the anger management 40 hours yet.
Okay. Anthony, I've got an address for you on Highgate Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
A little over 6 months.
Okay. And Rosemary lives there as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a self-employed fashion designer. I have my own clothing company.
Okay. All right. On the battery, I'm going to set the bond at $2,000. The condition of that is that you have no contact with Rosemary. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that?
Yes.
Also have to hold you up until 4 p.m. So if she wants to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. Also, if she continues to stay at Highgate, you'll have to find someplace else to stay while this is pending. You can go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need, wherever you plan to stay. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who'll stand by while you collect your things and get going where you're going. Then on the marijuana, I'll set the bond at $1,000. Both of those cases then will be coming back on the 27th of February. If you bond out, very important that you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mario Polakowski. Afternoon, Mario. What's your date of birth?
10/29/82.
Mario, I got 3 charges today: possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Might go with private counsel on this one.
All right. And state what you tell me.
adjudication withheld in 2009 for, it just says drug, equip, possess, as well as an actual constructive possession of a synthetic. Adjudication withheld 2009, and a DUI in 2009. Adjudication withheld.
Okay.
Kind of passive account.
And Mario, it looks like the address now is on Clearwater Drive in Spring Hill. Is that right?
Well, no, that's actually my mailing address. I actually just moved into a new house, 5294 Metmore.
Metmore. All right.
In Spring Hill, yeah.
All right.
Just moved in there about 10 days ago.
You got a job
Yes.
these days?
Yes.
What do
Yes,
you do?
sir. Hydraulic technician,
Okay.
18 years.
Okay. On the controlled substance, I'll set the bond at $2,000. On the paraphernalia at 1 and the driver's license at 1, that's a total of $4,000. Have you back in court on the 1st of March. Make sure you tell your lawyer about that date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Jill, you got anything else for me?
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Accident.